Dear friends, welcome to my video. In this video, we'll see how to build an AI chatbot using Google's Gemini's APIs in Kotlin and Android app. So let's begin. You create a new project. You can name this as Gemini AI chatbot. You can name this anything. And these things I'll leave it as it is. Make sure that language is Kotlin. Click on finish and wait for the environment to load. It might take a while. In the meantime, I'll just quickly show you that I'll be referring the details from this particular page, not from the Java but on the Kotlin side. So all the details are already mentioned in this page. I'll put the link in my description below. So first and foremost, what I will have to do is I will have to get an API key over here as per this page. So let me go to my account. I've already logged into my account aistudio.google.com, and over here, if the API keys are not already created, just click on this. Once you click on this get API key, click, this will come up. You can either create a new project or use one of the previous project, it doesn't matter, and just click on this create API keys and it will create one. So don't reuse mine keys, I'll delete it after this demonstration, but yeah, this is how you can create it. I'll go to my environment, it is still loading. However, I'll do one thing, I'll go to this page, reference document, and the next step over here is to add a dependency. So this is a dependency which we have to add. So I'll just copy this, go back to my environment, and now it's almost loaded. So I'll go to the Gradle file, and over here I can just do a control is saying some issue, or it's not an issue, it's a warning, and it's asking to change to the latest version, which is 0.2.0. Once you change, click on sync now. It may take a while to sync. In the meantime, I'll also update my manifest file to use internet, because that's, I think, will be required to exchange information over the network. Once I've done it, then I can start my coding part. So I'll go back to the reference document again, and over here you can see it has given various steps. So I'll just jump to the part where it says build multi-turn conversation, basically chat, a kind of chatbot. And this is a short code it has given. So I'll just copy this part, and okay, before I paste it, I will have to create a method for a button. Okay, so public function, and this could be button send chat, whatever. And here you can put a view variable, local variable, and in the layout you can put a button. Okay, I think it's a chat, so I'll do one thing, I'll put a button in the bottom. I don't think I'll need a text view, so I'll just remove this. And what else I'll need is I'll need two text box, right? One will be for displaying my output, so this could be something like bigger like this, something. Okay, and one more I'll put is for the inputs down below. So I'll not spend too much of time in terms of the layout part. I'll keep it simple, and because I want to focus on the coding part, actual coding part. So multi text, multi line, whatever that by default the name it gets, or I can do one thing with it. I can change this to something more meaningful, which is basically edit text output. Refactor, yes, please go ahead and refactor. So once that is done, what I'll do is I'll just complete this part also. I'm not sure why it went that way, so I should have, yeah, and then I'll put the constraints both sides. Yeah, and this, the name I will give it is something like input, so it makes more sense. Okay, so I have the output, I have the input, and I can give something for button as well. So I don't think ID matters for button, and the only thing that is a text and the on click attribute of this particular button will set, which is basically the method which we define in the our code over here. Yeah, if I could go back, it's looking for something, a kind of hint. So I'll do one thing, I'll just scroll down, and there should be a hint option, and just give it as a output displayed here. Yeah, so this is for the first time and this will be for input displayed here. Perfect. So once we have, I'm not sure why it didn't happen. Okay, so it happened. No, so there is no more errors now, and now I can jump to my Kotlin code and I'll go back here. I'll copy it again, once again, come back and paste this part. Probably just press Alt Enter to include all the required libraries. So that's all for this build config. What I'll do is I can hard code it better, so that will be easier for me. So I'll just go here and then I'll go to my, yeah, don't use my APIKey. I'm repeating this. I'll anyway remove it after this code. So yeah, don't use it. And now I'll create a couple of class variables. I'll do one thing. First I will make it work. So there's some error here, so I'm not sure. Okay, it's asking me to make it suspend, which I can't do because it's a button on click thing. So what I'll do is I'll create a coroutine here. So MainScope dot launch, yeah, and inside this, if I call this, it should be fine is what I guess. Perfect. Now I'll do one thing. I'll move all this initialization part in the on create method itself, and the only thing which it needs over here is the chat. So I'll create a class variable called chat. Okay, just add initialize later and that should be fine. And I think I should remove the val part so that it associates with this one. So now my variables are, yeah, connected. I'll do also one thing. I'll create a couple of other class variables. One is like edit text. So edit text, one is for input edit text, and one will be for output edit text output. Perfect. So I think there is an extra space here. I'll just add initialize later and we can initialize in our on create method. So I can do one thing is in the on create, first and foremost I can initialize these two things. So this will be fine by id r.id dot edit text input. Yeah, so over here we have kept almost the same name, so it's easy for us to associate, but that's not a compulsory thing. The name in the layout and over here the code can be different. Anyway, so once we have our edit text defined, one more thing I'll need is some kind of a string builder, so that we can keep a track of the all the strings. Okay. Here I think I can initialize here only string builder. Yeah, that should be fine. Now I'll do one thing. So wherever I have used this output any text, I'll just append that part. So say for example this part hello, just to detain the history. This is just a one-time process and that should be fine. And probably I'll give it a next line like this. I'm not sure why there are two brackets. I don't think we need that. So one is sufficient. And then I'll do one thing is again I'll put append, and this time I'll put the second message. Control C, Control V, backslash n, just to make sure it's a new line. Okay, it should have been inside the double quotes, not outside the double quotes. Once I have it, then what I'll do is in the button send chat, first and foremost I have to append the input. So here to string, or I'll say get text. Yeah, if you really want, you can even convert it into to string by using this. Perfect. Now over here, this will give me an output. Say for example, I can make it as a result, and this result I can capture in my string builder again. String builder dot append result dot text. Perfect. Now once all of these things are done, I can print it in my output, which is basically set text string builder to string. Perfect. So I think that's all in the code. There's nothing else required. So more or less I have kept the same code what I got it from the reference document. The only thing I have changed is the structure, like because I want to keep it as a kind of continuous chat messages back and forth. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. So let me see how it comes up in the code. So I'm just so this is the initialization part. Then I'm maintaining a local variable string builder to maintain the logs of all the code. Yeah. So my app has come up on the right hand side. And input displayed here, okay, that's not the right thing, but anyway, no. I'll first type something. So how many balls we have? Probably I could have done one thing is before over here also in the on create I could have printed this part. So okay, number pause. Okay, so something came up. So here these are the first two statements, right? Hello, I have two dogs in my house, blah blah blah, and it's giving something like that. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me make it a bit better in terms of visualization, and I'll add, yeah, one more backslash n so that it gives me a better uh, spacing. Yeah, and I'll need some spacing here also, which I think I missed it. Okay, so here I am doing a in fact a wrong thing. Now here I'm hard coding it, right? So here I should not hard code because I copied it from there. What I should do is in fact I should get the input text to string. This is what I should pass on over here, and over here I should add it. No, it looks better, so let me see whether it comes up better this time or not. So I'll just change this in input output displayed here is fine, not input here. I think I should change it to input here, not a displayed here. And if I go back here, yeah, so the first two statements are already typed. Hello, I have two dogs in my house, great to meet you, what would you like to know? So how many dogs do I have? Yeah, and if I click send, let's see what it happens. So I'm expecting, yeah, how many dogs do I have? You have two dogs as you mentioned earlier. Okay, I can of course do one more thing is I can clean this up, the output part after this. Say text input, set text empty, yeah, so that it gets cleaned up immediately after this particular when we type it. So probably I'll rerun it very quickly. So I have restarted. But wait, we can do one more thing. Right now it's displaying on the top, right? So I can bring them on the bottom. So you just go to your layout and do one thing. It's output, you'll see this gravity option, and over here you can just mark it as true, so it will come at the bottom like this. So if I rerun, I'm hoping that this should work now. Perfect, the code has come up, app has, and yeah, it's showing at the bottom as I wanted or expected. So now I can ask it the questions like how many dogs do I have, and then it will be more of an interaction as we have done it earlier. So we can do one more thing is instead of, yeah, so in the buttons in chat, first thing what we are doing is we'll print this output itself over there, and then it will print the next output, which is like, I remember you told me that you have two dogs in here. Okay, I can ask how many paws do are there in total, are there in total. Let me see if it can do the maths correctly. So I know it looks good, right? It's just scrolling up the way we usually expect. It is still not okay. It's just scrolling because yeah, at least there's something. But I can go back here and type anything else, right? So for example, which is the best country in the world? I know it's a very subjective question and there is no right answer for this question, but let's see what Gemini thinks about this particular question. So this will be the last question I'll ask and then close this demo. So let's see what answer we get. So okay, it's give something. So there are no different answer to the question. It depends. Different people have different criteria. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So definitely, yeah, this was the answer even I was expecting. That will be a more of a yeah, uh, yeah, it's situational answer it will give. So that's all I wanted to show you. Very easy steps to implement a chatbot of your own using the sample code given shared by them on their website. Yeah. So the steps are pretty simple. You need to generate an API key from this particular part, and then you have to put the code in such a way that yeah, every send button you can be launch or get the message and print it. So that's all. I hope this video is useful to you. If you have any questions or suggestions, then please put it in the comment section below. And if you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.